Guys, combo video time. Now, this is for the person who asked, what do you do without drawing pen call plus dark worm? Example, you only drew pendulum call. With dark worm, you can do things, but your board is going to be flat. You're not going to end on a bunch of negates. So you don't even need to explore that option. That shouldn't even be an option. Apart from that, if you draw pen call, you should be perfectly fine. It just depends on the scales that you have working with. Once you have guaranteed scales, example, Oath is going to be your scale majority of the time. Double Iris, you play through of it, is a reasonable scale to have. And you'd pen call any card, and you get Harmonizing plus any level 7. And you can still make a board with this. I'm going to show you how. Well, it's simple. The pen call doesn't matter what you throw away. I can still end on 4 negates. So if you were bothered by that, no, you don't need to worry. You could throw away a spell card and still be able to do this. So you're going to scale up and the Pendulum summon raw. You're going to use Harmonizing effect and you're going to search your deck for the other level 7 in your deck. Granted, if I open that example at gate 0, I would still go for Shanky because he's more useful. But granted that I'm going to show you with the opening of Shanky, you go for Dragon Pit and exceed someone into your absolute dragon. Now, this is your 4th summon. Something you need to take note of. Because this is your 4th summon, you're already home free. The 5th summon, even if your opponent Nibiru's, you don't really care. Perfect example, I'm going to link someone now into Hulky Fibrax. This is the 5th summon. You're going to trigger Hulk Chain Link 1, Absolute Chain Link 2. Actually, could have gone in any... Put your Absolute Chain Link 1 as per standard. It doesn't really matter, but you don't want it to end up mattering. Alright, so you'll get this first and absolute last. So they can't Nibiru you again. That's out of the question for your opponent. Now you'll link up into your Selena Gomez. She'll get 3 counters. You'll use this effect to Monster Reborn. I'm going to get back my Shanky from grave. And you can use Tuning Magician effect from now to pull back itself. Doesn't change a thing. The option here is if that you actually want to not respect the Nibiru, or do you want to. You can synchro someone first and get your Boral, but if you want more counters and you don't really care about Nibiru, you can always use your Oath to get back the Harmonizing, normal summon, link into Apollosa, then synchro summon into your Boral and equip Selena Gomez. You get 3 counters for doing this. Let me just put on the counters for anyone who wants to see. So yeah, that's a legitimate thing. So if you end, it's not the end of the world. Now, no point in my time I'm saying that you're going to win off the negates alone. Don't believe that you're going to win off the pure negation alone. Not with this deck at least. Because that's not the main plan. And nor has it ever been my main plan. All I want to do by going first is soften up my opponent board. I don't want them to go first and give me an extremely difficult board to cross. I prefer to go first, let them slightly break through the board, and by then my next follow-up I can just OTK them. So I don't want anyone under the illusion that you're going to outright win by doing this. No. We're just softening them up so that we can handle them in the next turn. Most likely, a meta deck is going to be a lot stronger than Pendulum decks. So I don't want you under the false illusion that you're going to win just by simply doing this. But let's go into the next combo. Alright guys, I've already shown you majority of the combos that the deck has to offer. So I'm going to show you the whole point of playing the deck. Which is that if your opponent plays Nibiru, you don't immediately fold like a chair. And how you do this, I'm going to show you. You always try to get your Apollosa up before you Pendulum someone. That way, if they have Nibiru by itself, it becomes a non-factor. It can't do anything. So you're going to pen call Dark Worm. You're going to get your Oath and Harmonizing. Usual stuff. Nothing new here. You'll use Dark Worm effect, summon itself. Next effect, get the gate 0. You're going to scale up. Normal summon the Harmonizing, and then you link into your Hulk Fibrax. Hulk effect, you will summon your Tuning Magician. Now, it's not reasonable for your opponent to Nibiru you here. Not even sure. This isn't even the 5th summon. I'm going to actually go to the 5th summon. Now, Celine is the 5th summon. Most players not going to Nibiru here. Why would they Nibiru before you Pendulum summon? So you have to force it out of them. When your Celine summons, you have Pen Call in the grave plus your 2 scales, that's 3 counters. It's mandatory to put on counters, it's not like you can forget it. You can remove all 3 to summon your Tuning Magician. This is the last point that they can Nibiru you, or it's game over. So, they attribute your entire field and give you the boy. Most likely, there'll be a dumbass and put it in the middle of the field, but here what? It didn't actually matter where they put it. It didn't change anything. If they put it on the left, I'll work with the right of the field. It really didn't matter. But most likely they're going to give you in the middle of the field because they're not sure what you're going to do. Now, you're going to use Oath to get back the girl. And Pendulum summon. Didn't matter which side of field I summon it because it's still going to work on a blank field. You'll get your Harmonizing effect to get your Shanky. It would have been beautiful to have one more card to work with, but we're working with the bare minimum here. So we're going to exceed. First card we link into is going to be the Cross Sheep. The reason why Cross Sheep is just that I'm just going to get a free monster born for doing nothing really that important. Apologies, I didn't actually put Absolute on the field. So yeah, we're going to Absolute and we're going to link with both of these. We're going to go into IP. We'll get the Absolute effect, summon Vortex. Then Sheep, you get a Monster Reborn. So you realize this is still heading places. Now, this is perfectly fine. I'm going to link off with both. And then we're going to go into our second Selena Gomez. So if you always thought, why did I play 2 Selena? That's why. Now, Selena will get 3 counters. None of its effects are hard once per turn. So you can use it again. The Selena effect, you'll get the Monster Reborn, but here what? We put Shanky in the graveyard. So we get him back. Now I can obviously simply use a Tuning Magician now, but I'm not interested in doing so. What I'm going to do is use both of these and go into Apollosa. You can now use your Tuning Magician effect to pull back itself and go into your barrel. Put it in the corner zone. You're going to equip your Celine and that's 3 counters. Granted, if we had more cards, I could end on a better, more solid board with a lot more interruptions just by having 1 more card. I could possibly end on 6 interruptions after getting Nibiru. But this is the whole point of playing the deck. Like, after getting Nibiru, it comes like nothing. It's a joke. They still have to steer down 4 negates. And the 4 negates isn't even really there to kill them. It's just there to slow them up. If they don't break your board entirely, they're going to have much more troubles in the future. And just by having 1 extender, a perfect example is if I had my White Wing Magician in opening hand, or I just open enough cards that when I pen call, it doesn't just search for what I need. This can change the factor by trillions. I'm going to show you. Alright, I'm going to show you now if you open with an additional extender, what happens. So we have the usual stuff plus an additional card. It doesn't even actually matter because you're going to pen call for what you're short. And so I'm going to pen call Dark Worm to go for White Wing and Harmonizing. And you might want to bump up the amount of White Wings you play due to this simple fact. It's just that you fold your opponent like a chair after the Nibiru. You're going to use Dark Worm effect to summon itself, and of course you're going to use the next effect to get the gate 0. You'll now normal summon White Wing. Important that it's White Wing. Link off into your Hulky Fibrax. You'll use Hulk effect to get your White Wing on, apologies, Tuning Magician on field, and link off into your Selena Gomez. Now, you reach the 5th summon, they declare Selena effect, they get nervous, they tribute it. Big whoop. I don't really care. Doesn't matter, wherever they give you the token, you're still able to do the combo. So it's here now at the point. You realize you can only Pendulum summon back 1, but the thing is, Oath can get you back this to your hand. So that doesn't even bother you anymore. Pendulum summon. Always put the White Wing directly under the Dark Worm. And everything else doesn't even matter where it goes. So you will now get the Harmonizing effect. I can summon Shanky. I much prefer Shanky because the reason why is just that he becomes a big beat stick later on. And he's going to negate light monsters on top of it. So if you actually need him to do something, he'll do something. Pro tip, always exceed first. Always. Now it's time to sync or summon. White Wing is banished because Konami doesn't like it. And no other reason. I can put it in any zone, but the corner zone is always the best place. I'll get back my Selena Gomez, and of course he gets 3 counters for that. Now I'll link with both of these to go into Sheep. I could truly put Sheep on any side of the field, but yeah. We'll get the Absolute effect to summon the Vortex. Sheep effect. I get the Monster Reborn. I'll link with both of these to go into the second Celine. I'll of course get 3 counters on it just by summoning it. Get the effect. And I'm going to remove 3 to get back my Shanky to the field. I'm going to Synchro Summon. So Tuning actually goes back to the grave. I didn't use its own effect to summon it. So I'm going to Synchro Summon into Adamantipator. Here's the best spot. Well, it doesn't matter. It just depends on which side of the board I'm going to work with. Is there the best spot? Yeah, I think it is. And now, of course, you can use a tuning effect to pull back itself. And then you will get to link off into your Apollosa. So that's 5 negates just by finding the extendo. But you didn't have to go into this if you didn't want to. You can always, of course, go into your IP. But the thing is with IP that I didn't like in this scenario, where am I going to find the extra monster for it to link with? I don't want to link with the Apollos off the bat. So that's why this is here, and no other reason. So Dragoid suffices as an extra negate. So this is it for the combo, guys. As in, it's 5 negates after getting Nibiru. Most Pendulum decks literally cannot do this. This is the absolute only reason why I play this version. And I'm going to show you guys a different version for Pendulums. But the thing is, like, the cards aren't released as yet. They're going to be in the next set. With Cupid, the new Synchro Tuno. I'm going to play that and show you guys, like, some insane, like, some 1-card combos that can end on 3 negate boards. Not that 3 negates are that good, but because it's playing off 1 card, can't complain. And then, if your opponent Nibiru, you're like, okay, so it's damn good. Just saying. Because your Pendulum summon is still going to be reserved before you get to Nibiru. So it's a great combo. I think I like these combos a lot. I think you guys should too. In terms of the main point of this combo is that, hey, I got Nibiru, it's not the end of the world. The last time I got Nibiru at a tournament was because I normal summoned Joko. And because he can't put a tune on the field before a Pendulum summon, I end up getting stoned. And boy, did it hurt. The one Nibiru grabbed a literal board of 6 monsters. And he grabbed a Pendulum monster, a Link monster, so it felt like 7 monsters. Like, one Nibiru did that? Like, and the mere fact that Nibiru is so stupid because the token has no built-in protection. Your opponent just gets rid of it by some bullshit card effect. Oh my god, you guys don't even begin to understand how I hate the card. Like, the card is literally the only reason why I play this deck. It's between... I don't think I can play a next deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! That cannot withstand getting Nibiru. I think that card needs to go before Maxi can come back. I don't see how that and Maxi should be able to come back at 3. Like, Maxi can't come back as long as Nibiru exists, as far as I see it. But that's it from me, guys. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'm out. Peace.